Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today we're going to be going over some of the best transfer targets for Game Week 9, who you should be looking at bringing in, selling, avoiding. We've got them all in today's video, so if you're excited for it, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 20 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment, who are you eyeing up this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into the video. So, starting things off, a player that has caught the attention of a lot of managers in recent weeks, Chelsea's left wing-back Ben Chilwell, coming off the back of two huge hauls, getting 15 points at the weekend against Brentford. I mean, it could have been a completely different story. Brentford was so unlucky, but that's football, and he came home with 15 points. He's 5.7 mil, so not the most expensive Chelsea asset, but his stats don't really kind of compensate the points that he's been getting, because his XG is at 0.5, his expected assists is 0.4, he scored 2 so far this season, he hasn't assisted any goals, and he's owned by 6.1% of managers. So yeah, with the likes of Azpilicueta, Alonso, Rudiger, should you be bringing in Ben Chilwell? I think at this point in time, he's a little bit more nailed than Alonso, but at the same time, we have a Champions League fixture coming up this week, so 100% wait for that game before you bring in Ben Chilwell. Because if Ben Chilwell starts midweek, he's probably not going to start at home to Norwich, because it's not like Alonso is a bad backup. Alonso has also been having a very, very good season. It's just Chilwell has been having a better one. So if he's going to play Champions League football this week, then I could see Alonso playing at home to Norwich at the weekend, because it's not like Norwich at home is a game that he needs his best team for, because I think it's called something like Tuchel Tombola now instead of Pep Roulette. I don't know how people come up with it. It's a great name though, Tuchel Tombola. But yeah, with a fixture of Norwich at home, arguably the easiest fixture of the season, you're not really going to need your best players. So yeah, if Chilwell does play midweek, I could definitely see Alonso starting at home to Norwich. And then we'll have to see what happens at Newcastle away and Burnley at home, because they are the best 3 fixtures you can have at this point in time. They're just so good. Like, all those teams are just struggling a lot right now, and when they're going up against a team like Chelsea, a juggernaut of the Premier League, they're probably not going to get much from it. So over the next 3 fixtures, you could easily see a Chelsea defender getting 3 clean sheets, and then hopefully some attacking returns, especially the fullbacks. But with the likes of Reece James being back now, I think Rudiger's back in training now, Thiago Silva's back in training, obviously we've got Alonso, Chilwell, like there's just so many options they can have, and I think the only nailed one at the moment is probably Rudiger. But like I say, he's not going to need his best players for Norwich at home. You know, that's a game that he should win in his sleep. So yeah, he's probably going to want to win the Champions League game a little bit more. So yeah, there might be a few players rested against Norwich at home. Like even Lukaku could get rested as well, which is an interesting one. But I don't think Lukaku will play midweek. He looked a bit tired away at Brentford. So yeah, I think that he'll probably rest this week and then maybe play at home to Norwich. But yeah, Chilwell is a different story. So yeah, a lot of people have brought him in already. Don't bring him in until after the Champions League fixture, after the press conference, because anything could happen. He could play the Champions League fixture and get injured. You know, we don't know. So I don't know, using your transfers at the very start of the week is just never a good option, especially when the Champions League fixtures and stuff. So yeah, Chilwell is definitely a player that I would like to bring in, but just hold off a little bit until we've had the midweek games and stuff like that. The next player that you should think about bringing in is Jamie Vardy. The Leicester forward just cannot stop scoring. He's just getting points and points and points every week. I've been talking about him every week as well, and I just never brought him in myself. And I'm kicking myself that I haven't, but his stats are ridiculous right now. His expected goals is 4.8, so I think that's only beaten by like Salah and stuff like that. His expected assist is only 0.7, but as a striker, you're going to want him just to be shooting all the time. You don't want him setting up other players. You want him to get the goals, because if your striker gets a goal, they're much more likely to get bonus points than if like a midfielder scores a goal, or if your striker gets an assist. He's scored 7 goals so far this season. He's got 1 assist. He's owned by nearly 20% of teams, but I could see that hitting 20% by the time that the deadline reaches us. But the next few fixtures, I could also see Jamie Vardy scoring in. Brentford away, like Brentford are a good side, don't get me wrong. They were very unlucky against Chelsea, but I don't know. I think that'll be a very open game. I personally thought Brentford would just sit back at Chelsea and then hope for the best. But no, they were attacking. They absolutely dominated that game in the last 20 minutes. Maybe they'll do the same to Leicester, especially if they're behind. So if Leicester get an early goal, Brentford are going to come at them, and then that might leave space in behind for Jamie Vardy to run in, and a lot of people can't catch Jamie Vardy. So yeah, he hopefully will get a couple of returns in that game. And then Arsenal at home. I mean, Jamie Vardy always scores against Arsenal, and of course they have just conceded 2 against Crystal Palace. Then he's got Leeds away. Leeds very leaky at the back again this season. Chelsea at home isn't the greatest fixture, but I mean, everyone's got to play him twice in the season. And then he's got Watford at home as well, which is another good fixture. So yeah, Leicester's fixtures are quite nice, and Jamie Vardy's just in, I don't know, fine form. You know, he's having a party again. You know, he's having his WKDs or whatever he's drinking, but he's having a really good season. And I'm probably going to bring him in this week. I just don't think that you can kind of, I don't know, just watch him from the sidelines anymore. You need him in your team. Who you get rid of for it, that's a different question. Some people are saying they're going to get rid of Lukaku this week for him. I mean, if Lukaku gets injured, Champions League game, then fair play, but I don't really understand why you'd get rid of Lukaku before Norwich at home, then Newcastle and Burnley. But I'm upgrading Antonio to him, so yeah, Antonio's fixtures are just really, really bad, and I definitely want Jamie Vardy instead of him. So that's another player you should think about bringing in this week. Next up, which is a bit of a controversial one, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but Turbo Timo could be a bit of an option going forward. Again, it all depends on Champions League kind of team selection this week, but if he doesn't play midweek in the Champions League, I think that Timo is a really, really good option to bring in. He's 8.6 mil now. He's got some nice stats, to be fair. XG of 2.2. His expected assist is only 0.2. He scored 1. He's assisted 1 so far this season. Only owned by 2.2% of teams, but he has started the last 3 games. And he's come on pretty much every single game this season apart from 1, I think, against Liverpool. But yeah, starting the last 3, played 90 minutes in the last 3. And so if Champions League fixture sees the like of like Havertz or someone, then yeah, Werner could be a bit of a punt because he's more likely to start against Norwich at home, Newcastle away, Burnley at home. So yeah, again, we'll have to take a look at the team that goes and plays in the Champions League fixture this season. I know I'm saying that a lot today, but it's just so important. But yeah, I think that Turbo Timo could be a pretty nice option, and he's been unlucky as well. You know, he's been getting a lot of shots off, hence why his expected goal is 2.2. But yeah, I just think that, I know it's a bit of a meme, like the whole situation, especially like the seasons he's been having and stuff, and he's just been missing so many good chances. But he did bag 2 for Germany, 2 pretty good goals as well. And yeah, I think if he doesn't play in the Champions League this week and Havertz plays instead or whatever, then yeah, I think that Werner could be a nice option, because if you know that you've got a player that's going to start against Norwich, Newcastle and Burnley, I mean, that's great. That's what you want. So yeah, he started the last 3. If he starts the next 3, you're great. I mean, if you take a punt on him and he doesn't play, you could have someone like Livramento on the bench that will just come in for him anyway, who's got some really nice fixtures. So yeah, if you were feeling a little bit adventurous this week, I think that Timo could be a little nice differential for you. Next up, a player to sell. It's about time you got rid of Diogo Jota, myself included. He's still in my team, but that's because I missed the deadline, unfortunately. But yeah, I will be getting rid of him this week, 1000%. 7.5 mil. He's got really nice stats. Like, he really does. Expected goals of 3.4, expected assists of 1.9. He scored 3 so far this season. He hasn't got any assists, and he's owned by 14.5% of teams. However, though, Liverpool's fixtures aren't the greatest over the next few weeks. They've got Man United away, which is going to be a huge game. Brighton at home, West Ham United away, Arsenal at home, and then Southampton at home as well. The only problem is Bobby Firmino's just scored a hat-trick, so I don't think you're going to get a hat-trick and then get dropped to the bench. So I don't think Jota will start against United. Again, could change with Champions League fixtures and stuff. Like Bobby Firmino could start the Champions League game and get injured or whatever, and then, you know, Jota will have to start against United away. But even if he does, like, United away is a tough fixture. I mean, I know United have not been great so far this season, but I don't know. I just think for Jota at the moment, he's just a bit too risky to hold. He could easily upgrade him to Son or downgrade him to the likes of Mbeumo or whatever. There's a lot of players around kind of a cheaper price range that I think will just fare much better than Jota at the moment. So yeah, personally for me, it's time to get rid of him. You probably already have gotten rid of him, but yeah, if you haven't already, I think it's time to say goodbye. unfortunately. Unless, again, something happens during the Champions League game, but either way, he's just not got the fixtures to really kind of compensate having him at the moment. So that's the player you should be selling this week. A player that you should be holding this week, though, is Sarr. So Sarr is pretty much Watford's main man. He's scored 4 goals so far this season. He's assisted 1. He's owned by 16.6% of teams. He's got an expected goal of 2.3, expected assist 0.6, and their fixtures coming up aren't the greatest. He's got Everton away, but then he's got Southampton at home, Arsenal away, Man United at home, Leicester away. So why should you hold this player? Well, he's only 6.3 mil. He's on penalties. You don't have to worry about him getting benched. He's playing 90 every single week, in and out. Like, he's just their main man. And also, Everton away isn't the toughest fixture. You know, he was really unlucky against Liverpool. He hit the post, but Liverpool were just in a ridiculous form that game. I mean, like, they could have put 5 past most teams in the Prem. So I don't think from the back of that you should be thinking about selling him, because Everton away, like I say, he could score in that game. Southampton at home, that's probably the best fixture he's got over the next few weeks. And then Arsenal away, I mean, Arsenal just conceded 2 to Crystal Palace, so why can't Sarr score in that game? Man United at home, I mean, United's a bit of a tricky fixture, but United have been terrible this season. You know, they've been leaking in a lot of goals. And then they've got Leicester away as well, who again have also been leaking in goals. So whether you just keep him and put him on the bench or whatever for like the Man United game or whatever, that's fair enough. But I think that Sarr has still got a lot to offer, and I don't think he should be jumping off the Sarr train at the moment. Like I say, he's on pens. Like, he could get a penalty in any of those fixtures. Put that in. That's 5 points right there. And he could be on for a haul, especially if he's on bonus. So, yeah, I personally am definitely keeping this player. I think that he's still got a couple of hauls left in him, and I can see him scoring against Everton. Doucouré is also out now for Everton. It's been confirmed that he's done something to his foot, but basically he's out for like 6 to 7 weeks. And Doucouré is a huge part of Everton's team. As well as that, Calvert-Lewin's out. Richarlison probably won't be back for the Watford game. They're getting a few injuries here and there, so what a better time for Sarr to pop off. So yeah, I definitely think you should hold him if you have him. If you don't have him, probably wouldn't bring him in, but if you do, maybe hold him for a couple of weeks. But anyway, that is going to be everything for today's transfer tips video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 20. Leave a comment. Who are you bringing in and taking out this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. That's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.